Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Josh Culbreth.
Welcome back to News Watch 12 midday. Across most of the country, temperatures are the big story, and they're not really the big story for us, at least for today. I guess the story within the temperatures is that they're very mild for this time of the year. Most of us in the 40s and 50s, but this is actually the big story. Now, lots of heavy rain in the Rogue Valley, starting to get up into the Cascades. A little bit of it starting to swing over to the east side as well. There's definitely going to be a lot more where that came from. So we'll put this all into motion with Stormcast. This is by the time we get to dinner time, and here comes yet another round of pretty heavy precip covering our west side areas. And by the time we get past dinner time into the overnight hours, it is going to be widespread rain. And you're picking up on some of these yellows, some of these oranges, some of these reds. That's representing some very heavy rainfall. Then into Tuesday, you'll see even more that gets streamed into the News Watch 12 viewing area. So we'll stop this at various points of the day. You saw right around breakfast time, there was some rain and snow. Right around lunchtime, the same thing. And you'll notice more snow on the map as snow levels start to fall all throughout the day on Tuesday. And then it looks like we'll have some showers that will linger into Wednesday. Here's some of those projected rainfall totals we're expecting through Wednesday morning. And the coast is definitely going to be the winner. Anywhere between 4.5 to 5 inches could fall along the coast and up in the Cascades. But sometimes too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. So that's why we have a flood watch in place for coastal Curry County. It runs from 10 p.m. on Monday to 10 p.m. on Tuesday, as excess runoff could result in some localized flooding. Now let's take a look at the winter weather aspect of all of this. And like I said, on Tuesday, snow levels will fall from 6,500 feet down to 4,500 feet. So that means we could see some trace amounts in some of those lower elevations, anywhere between a trace to an inch for the Shasta Valley. The same thing for Klamath Falls and for Lakeview. But the biggest snowfall totals are going to be reserved for the Cascades. Anywhere between a foot to 2 feet of snow could fall up towards Crater Lake and Diamond Lake. So that means that travel is going to start to get impacted starting on Tuesday as the snow levels start to tumble. And then we will have additional storm systems for Thursday and Friday that will continue to make our roadways a little bit dicey. Probably the chief concern through all of this, though, will actually be the winds. We could have winds gusting all the way up to 80 miles per hour in the Cascades, 70 miles per hour for the coast. Even for our lower elevations, the Rogue Valley could see winds gusting up to 55 miles per hour. And that chief time frame of concern would be this evening through Wednesday morning. So essentially all the day on Tuesday is when we have these high wind warnings in place. And then also we have several wind advisories in place for much of the News Watch 12 viewing areas. We know a lot of people have Christmas decorations out there. Now would be an excellent time to bring them in or to tie them down at the very least. So for today, we'll have rain continuing to become more widespread. Winds will start to crank up out of the southwest, and the winds will really start to do their thing overnight. Most of this will stay as rain overnight because snow levels are going to stay elevated between 6,500 to 8,500 feet, but then they'll fall throughout the day on Tuesday. We get a little breather for Wednesday, and here's that next storm system for Thursday and Friday. Snow levels with that storm system in particular are looking even lower, but thankfully that storm system is looking a little less wet, and it's looking a little less windy as well. Here's your 7-day forecast along the coast. We'll see rain and wind very likely for the next couple of days. And in fact, it looks pretty likely after that, even beyond the next couple of days. For Siskiyou County, we'll see showers and, of course, big time winds likely for the next couple of days. And then as those snow levels start to tumble on Tuesday, into Wednesday and Thursday, of course, we'll see more snowfall that'll be on the table. For the east side, we're staring down the barrel of what could end up being a decent snow event for Thursday and for Friday, with snow levels with that system down to around 4,000 to 5,000 feet. I think those winter impacts are going to be pretty minimal for this storm system in particular, just because snow levels will be so high, mainly impacting the Cascades and Siskiyous. Remember, Crater Lake, Diamond Lake could receive anywhere between a foot to 2 feet of snow. So I would highly recommend not traveling up towards Diamond Lake Junction and Willamette Pass. And then for the Rogue Valley, we have wind advisories in place. But I think for the next 7 days, we're going to luck out when it comes to the snow. This is mainly just going to stay as rain.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Now, this is my first winter in Southern Oregon. Is this weather pretty typical for every year in the wintertime?
This is what it's supposed to be like. You know, we're running a 10 to 15 year deficit when it comes to the rainfall. So we look at this, and I think the standard person would go, oh, when's the sun going to come out? But I look at this, and I'm just foaming at the mouth.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Josh.
Of course.